Alright, now we're going to move over to one of my favorite things, the water cookers. I have the Myron Mixon 60 water cooker. Absolutely love this thing. Some of the best stuff I've ever cooked for friends, family, and contests have been on these water cookers. Like I said, Myron's won world championships on these things. Yeah, they cost a little bit more, but if you want the absolute best product you can produce to somebody, this H2O water cooker is the real deal.
Well, let me tell you something about the H2O. I cooked on water cookers from 1996 to even up to now. I've been cooking on water cookers, even though now I like to cook hogs on the RFG 72, reverse support gravity. But the reason I like to do that, it turns out a great product. We've won 2 world championships on those in 16 and 21. But you don't have to stay out there with it all night unless you just want to hang around, because you don't have to put the stick wood. This is a stick burner, and I love stick burning. But the thing about a water cooker too, no denying it, it's a scientific fact. A water pan that's rolling and boiling, I'm talking to people that care about yield. That would be your restaurants, your food trucks, catering businesses that's doing barbecue. You get a 20% down at the bottom on weight. In other words, you got more weight at the bottom using the water cooker, because when a piece of meat is cooking, it shed moisture. And you've already got rolling, boiling water in there. You already have moisture inside the cook chamber. It balances out quicker where you retain more moisture in the meat, so therefore weight. So that's how you make money in the barbecue business. For those of you who don't know that, is by the weight. You got to save as much of it, keep it out of the trash can, or waste it, or lose it.
And you're not steaming it, it's actually still smoking it and doing this, because you can taste the smoke flavor in it.
Exactly. You're steaming and tenderizing while you're actually barbecuing and getting that smoke to it, because you got a water pan in the bottom, you got vents front and back that run the whole length, you got your fire blocks down here. Put your stick wood in, so you're getting smoke coming up around the sides, steaming boiling water at the bottom. Now I'll tell y'all that want to go in and take your ceramic smokers and everything else, and you want to set a pan of water in there, you know, all you're doing is taking up space unless that water comes to a boil. The only way you get a benefit from having a water pan and a smoker is if it comes to a boil. It's sitting there not never boiling, ain't doing you no good, just taking up room where you could put another rack of ribs there. So you've got to have rolling water. The thing about these two, we talked about the trays over here on our Juicier. Stainless steel, heavy duty. You're not going to bend these down with anything. You can put a small whole hog, about an 80-pounder with the head off, not going to flex it.
And once again, they clean up real nice and easy.
I'll show y'all something. Back in the day, the Jack Daniel's World Invitational Barbecue Contest used to have a hog category. I used a 48 back in that time, and I've won a few first place hogs at the Jack Daniel's cooking on a 48 water cooker H2O. So it can do the job. It can do the job. We got a place in here for 4 racks. You cook a lot of meat in this thing. Talking about 48 inches here, 4 racks. A lot of product can go inside these smokers. Well built. Got your dampers at the top. Slide your dampers right there. Also, we got vents down on the door where you can regulate your heat. Which I ain't gonna preach to the choir. I know everybody watching. Y'all know to run a clean fire, and the clean fire is running your dampers open, having the right amount of wood in there to keep your tent where you want it. Running a clean fire is not shutting all the dampers down, because you done shot it over to 500 degrees. You're trying to get it back to 250 so you can sit down on your ass and drink more beer. You don't want to do that. So keep those dampers open, run a clean fire with a stick wood, and you too can win championships at the Jack Daniel's.
I love this thing, and Myron's right, because I've done cooks on mine. I've had all 4 racks, Susan. I cooked, it was 120 racks of ribs all at one time, like this. And all I had to do is come in every so often, spread some, close the door, wait for them to be done.
And what Brian just brought up to you, I'm going to tell you right now, this is for anybody's smoker, not just ours, anybody. You can't go in there on these racks and have your ribs touching. You got to leave gap there because heat travels. It's going to travel, because most 99% of the smokers built today, heat comes from the bottom up. It's going to travel and go out of these stacks. But if you got in there and you got them all right, basically lapping over one another, that heat can't come up through here. So your top rack ain't going to get done. You've got to have airflow inside of anybody's smoker. And this is no exception.
Yeah, and he's talking about you don't need to leave gaps, just enough to where
Well, you
everything's
slide your
not
hand
touched.
in between it.
Yeah.
You got to leave gaps where air can flow.
But no, like I said, Myron, I love mine so much. I told my wife to bury me in mine, and that is no joke. And
But I also want to talk a little bit over here on the side. We've got what we call sight glass, but really what it is an overflow. We've got an automatic float system right here, where all you got to do is hook the hose to it. Automatically keeps the smoker filled at the right level. But if something happens, like a little piece of trash or something gets through the water line, messes up your float system and keeps it running continuous, this right here lets the water run over outside instead of running over inside onto your fire. So that's just a safety feature. Also to let you know you're watering, your water's running right. Because you can get trash in here. Sometimes when I think about it, I always put a little filter system on mine to keep anything that might be in the water hose from clogging it up. But other than that, again, built like a tank, built in America, H2O. I love it.